parents, and students. I welcome you to Eagle Academy's 2019 commencement ceremony. I am pleased to have seated on the stage this evening, starting at my left, Board Member Renee Ozuna. I don't know if you can see her. Vice Chairman Mike Wheatney. Our Regional Board Member, Dr. Philip Newhoff. Board Member Steve Smiley. Chairman of the Board, Ed Klopfenstein. Superintendent, Dr. Mary Ann Reynolds. Assistant Superintendent, Joe Yoakum. And our Regional Director, Jeff Stans. And Eagle Academy's Teacher of the Year, Arlene Reed-Cossairt. And our counselor, Jill Stewart. As we begin this evening, recognizing and honoring individuals for their hard work and dedication to others, I would like to honor those that have served in the military or soon will be. Light folks, can you raise the lights just a little bit in the house? I want these folks to be seen. No? Yes? A little bit in the house?
That's all.
Oh, that worked. Okay.
Yeah.
So, will the veterans...
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Will the veterans in our assembly today and the students of Eagle Academy that will be joining the armed forces please rise and be recognized? We have another group of very special people here tonight that I want to recognize. Parents and guardians, on behalf of our seniors, we thank you for your love and support. If we could have those lights up again. We as educators also thank you for your support in helping us educate your students. With the parents and guardians, please stand and be recognized. In the last group, I would like to acknowledge it takes special, dedicated people to work with and inspire teenagers. The staff of Eagle Academy has been dedicated to the success of each and every one of these students. I would like the dedicated teachers and staff of Eagle Academy to stand and be recognized. We will continue tonight with our first senior speaker, Ravim Boral.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. I'm honored to speak here today before all of you. I just wanted to start off by saying that we all come from different backgrounds with unique stories that define who we are and what we have become today. The story of who I was before I came to Eagle Academy and the man I am today are complete strangers. I remember the traditional high school I went to. I was very shallow, damaged, not only mentally, but spiritually. As I went through my daily life, hating myself and everything about me, but failing most of my classes that were offered or falling behind in my studies, and missing countless days like my future didn't matter to me. The wave that kept hitting me got stronger and bigger day by day, and I didn't know how to channel my anger towards something positive. So I took it out on the people in the world, and especially the people that loved and cared for me. I remember begging my parents to come to Eagle Academy because I knew it was the break I needed. I had no hope to give, but something had to change. I was willing to take a leap of faith because I had already given up on the arbitrary way of teaching that I had received in the traditional schooling system, which failed me as a student. Toward the end of freshman year, I transferred to Eagle Academy, and as I grew further from the old me, I started to realize what I was doing to my mental and spiritual health, as I couldn't believe what I was and how twisted the traditional system had me, and how that affected me as a young man that looked towards his teachers for guidance and mentorship, but only to be given a packet of work and told to keep moving, even if it was toward my own destruction. I needed the freedom that Eagle Academy was offering, and the flexibility not only to take care of my mental health, but my spiritual health, which grew me into the person that stands here before you, with allowing me to choose my pace and set my own goals, but also to learn the way to speak success into my future and see that it comes into fruition. With the mastery-based learning, I never felt stressed about deadlines or having to go at a certain pace, which would make me fall behind. I had rekindled my love for learning that I hadn't felt for a very long time. This school was the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I wouldn't change a thing. And I would like to thank God for always keeping me humble, and my parents for supporting my life choices and allowing me to break free. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Rambo, Mr. Parker, Mr. Lieberman, and Mr. Halverman, and all the EA staff that showed me the kindness and love that trumps all. Lastly, I would like to thank Principal Bouchine for opening your doors to an angry kid that just needed someone to understand him and show him that life doesn't need to be so complicated. Thank you for your time. God bless America and our public education system.
And now our second senior speaker, Liz Rogers.
Good evening. 4 years ago, I started my high school journey at Eagle High School. During my freshman year, I was not succeeding the way I should have been. I was failing classes left and right, so by the end of the year, I had given up on even trying. Sophomore year comes around, and I started out on a bad foot. In September, my counselor called me down to her office and started telling me about all my different options when she mentioned Eagle Academy. She told me Eagle Academy was a school for troubled youth who were struggling in mainstream schools. I had heard that the students who attended that school were people who made bad choices, so I started there with that mindset. My first day at Eagle Academy was November 14th. November 14th was the day that my life started to turn around for the better. I was able to catch up on credits and finish my sophomore year ready to start the next year as a junior. My junior year contained some of the most difficult times that I was not sure that I could get through. I thought about dropping out multiple times throughout the year. I was falling behind on credits and skipping school. Because of all the support and encouragement from the staff, I finished that year stronger than ever. My senior year jump-started my career. I was able to start college and began earning credits for CWI. I was able to finish high school a week early. If I would have stayed at Eagle High, I definitely would not have succeeded. The students that I had met there are some of the best people I was able to meet. They are so supportive and caring. If it wasn't for the incredible support from the staff and other students, I would not be standing here giving this speech. I have made some of the strongest bonds at Eagle Academy. Eagle Academy completely turned my life around into something so much better. I'm very proud to say that I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. I congratulate and wish the best of luck to every graduating senior here tonight and moving forward.
will now hear from our Teacher of the Year, Arlene Reed-Cossairt.
Students often ask me, how do you find your purpose in life? Your purpose or calling can take many forms. It can be a job, it can be being a parent, it can be being in the right place at the right time to do the right thing. I often say that becoming a special education teacher was the calling I never expected, from the struggle I never planned on. I did not set out to be a special ed teacher. Life suggested it. Before we had our second child, I already had a couple degrees and I was working in corporate America. But my son was born with disabilities, and pretty soon corporate America and my son didn't really get along. My husband was the first person to suggest that I become a special ed teacher, and I was immediately offended. Like I had enough to do already. And my son's needs were pretty high in those years, so sleep was not happening, the house was a mess, and my boss wasn't very happy. Like I had time for more school. My husband was crazy and annoying. So, he never brought that up again, but the idea wouldn't go away. Every few days I would think about it. And then I would convince myself it was a bad idea. This went on and off for several years. And a part of me felt anxious, conflicted, and dissatisfied the whole time. The funny thing was, I got all hung up about one tiny aspect. My vision of a good teacher was somebody who was highly organized all the time in all areas of their life. I wasn't the most organized person before my son was born, and I definitely wasn't after. I can't do it. I'm not that kind of person, I would say, and it became my perfect excuse. But it still wouldn't go away. I had long since bailed on the corporate job, but every morning there it was again. Go back to school. But my anxiety at that time was pretty high, and I decided that that meant I couldn't handle anything big. I've got too much on my plate, I would say. But then one day I gave in. I couldn't resist it anymore, so I signed up for one class, and then another, and one by one, I got my teaching certificate. What happened next surprised me. When I started this journey, I expected that I was going to be even more exhausted than before. But I actually had more energy. I expected that I was going to be more anxious, but I actually calmed down. I expected my kids were going to suffer, but they actually did great. I expected to struggle to stay organized, and that's still pretty much a complete disaster. But I didn't care as much anymore. I am working harder now than I ever have, and I love my job. And I often wonder why it took so long to say yes. I tell you this story because I can already see the struggle in you. Do you know how often y'all walked around talking about how you couldn't do things and why you couldn't do them? It was all the time. Here's some favorites. I cannot do anything that involves math. Overwhelmingly popular choice. I am not a morning person. That's an easy one. I don't handle stress well. I can only have a certain kind of job. I can't think about the future right now. Everything is all messed up. And my personal favorite, Arlene, have you read my file? Yes. When I heard you say these things, I felt for you. We all did, actually. We saw the struggle, and we pushed you anyway. But we very often would ask ourselves, how did they even get to school today? But I would also sit and wonder, I wonder what kind of awesome they're running from. And maybe that's part of your struggle. Not all of your problems in life will be in your control. Life does happen to you. But consider that some of your struggles are present because you're fighting who you were meant to be. The negative mental chatter can seem real, but don't listen to it. At first, your purpose may be a whisper, a thought, or a suggestion from someone who loves you. Let your purpose be the loudest voice you hear. So, you can be horrible at math and still go to college or technical school and study something you're interested in. You can be anxious and be the next boss at work. You can be easily stressed and still be the person who shows up at the right time to do the right thing in the right place. You can be really scared, and everything can be all messed up, and you can get started anyway. We're gonna miss you. It's already hard that you're not at school, and for some of you, this is our last moment with you. Eagle Academy won't get to know your story unless you keep in touch, so please drop us a line. Enjoy your day today with your family and your friends, and you should be very proud of yourselves. We are proud of you. And remember that your purpose will never ask you to be perfect. It will only ask you to be brave. Thank you.
We will now enjoy a video honoring our seniors that was created by our student council. So if you guys would like to head down the stairs, hopefully you can see.